our site lap. Let's lay out, listen, watch, and see if we learn something here from the drivers. The rain continues to come down. Blake, very skilled driver coming to us from Las Vegas, an instructor as well, picking up that new sponsor. Rudy Hansen clamoring right there, and a mistake there by Hansen. You can see him wavering in that chase position, and you got to think that on the bank, because the water goes down and accumulates, you can see all the puddles right there, and now Rudy Hansen surged on the attack, but doesn't have the angle. You can see just kind of charging into the beeline. Has the horsepower, you can see it, but does he have the line? Blake Olson, man, really good job out front, and he will unwind it. You can see right there, make sure the lights extinguish. Good, let's go. And don't hit a cone, Rudy. Yay, no cones were the hit to make another run. And here we go, Rudy Hansen now out front. Blake Olson in a chase position. Rudy Hansen tapping the brakes. And Rudy now with the great angle here. Sticks it on the bank for quite some time. Comes down, Blake Olson, good proximity. Oh, that's, I want to look at that again there, but I don't know if we're going to be able to get that angle. Rudy Hansen now continues on through the course, a little high on the outside. The transition going from impatiently, who's going to come out on top? And Ben Hobson comes and chases down Blake Olson. He says he feels confident in the car. I know he had some axle issues the other day, but look at Hobson sticking it to the door of Blake Olson. Hobson transitions over the jump. Both of them handled very well. But Blake Olson goes deeper on that second outer zone. Hobson halfway through, gained some ground. Tell you what, that was a solid. You throw your toes in there, a little wrinkle, kind of bunched up. You can just take that thing and do a little, real nice military fold right there. Here we go. So Ben Hobson out front, but Blake Olson, he starts a little bit late there, but Hobson jumps up tall the wall. Look at, there's Blake. A little lower there, but we saw that from Hobson earlier. It's going to come down to this inside click. How are they going to manage? Blake transitions. Look at, see, he lunges forward. Ben Hobson gets into the crease. Does exceed a little bit. Blake gains some ground. That's a great battle. Chase, mimic that lead car. We talked about those GT Radial keys to success. Here you go. Here's the keys. Open the door. Or get to the door. And there we go with Blake Olson initiating high on the bank. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. Hobson a little bit lower. We talked about that pocket for the bubble. He burst the bubble once again. So he did exceed that front tire. Blake Olson a wide swing, way off inside clip 2. That might hurt him, but we'll see how Hobson does up front. Hobson, that allows him to get right there to the door. I said, here's the key to success. Open the door. All right, here we go. So deciding factor, Hobson, if he does what he did on that first battle, I think he's going to get the victory. Hobson initiates. Oh, and Blake shuts her down. He taps the wall. Hobson needs to continue on. He will get the victory, but unfortunately, Blake Olson, he's going to need Hobson. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Blake Olson, you see him lunge forward, but we got one more sector for victory for Hobson, and he gets it. That's going to be it. And guess what? He's going against a rookie in Formula Drift overall, Robert Thorne. So here we go. Robert Thorne will lead the pack here in the AS Motorsports BMW, and a crazy initiation there, but it ends up gripping up and finds himself outside of that first outside zone. They both find that second outside zone. Now let's see, Thorne and Olson into that front clip, both of them passing by it, no problem, into that third and final outside zone. Thorne goes in, Blake just a bit outside. So like I said, Blake, really excited to see how this transpires for Olson or Thorne, who's going to move on. Here comes Blake Olson, who's having his steering issues, but there we go, initiating inside. You see Blake Olson, and Thorne tries to apply the pressure, but was that too much? You saw him have to back off that TNVC CoralWorks BMW. Now it looks like Thorne has found that pocket line that we so emphatically talk about, and going and cutting through the smoke. Here comes Blake Olson, that third and final outside zone. Thorne, you saw
see. So Thorne out front. So you can only tell the future by looking at the past, boys. Here we go. A one more time battle between Thorne and Olson. Thorne initiates that first outside zone. Blake, gaining a lot of confidence there. Thorne into that second outside zone. Blake does not start, but then he gets into that second outside zone. Two great looking BMWs running for the FCP Euro Cup. Now transitioning through. Good job by Blake tucking in and through that smoke. Thorne does exit out of that final outside zone. That just pops, and it's really cool to see him back here in competition. And Thorne, just a newcomer, just excited. You know, I think he's got a lot of grip drivers excited about. Look at that, Blake going for it. Actually taps his wing on the wall, it looked like. We're gonna have to rewind that and take a look again. Blake Olson, that TNVC, CoroWorks BMW. Thorne back a little bit, but trying to gain that proximity. Great angle, even with those steering issues. But now, transition in that final outside zone. How's Blake gonna go? Thorne. So very similar line. Thorne did have it straightening out there. Was that caused by Blake?
And lights off, ready to go. So the chase car can leave the line earlier than the lead car just to pace themselves, but Blake Olson, that TNVC BMW from Las Vegas, you gotta love Astamata. This guy goes for it. Oh, you saw that transition. He straightened it out just a little bit, but he does take a compromise there to gain that proximity. So good job by Austin. Blake Olson whips it back around. The GT radials go around and cross the finish line. Great lead run there by Blake Olson. Looks he drives, it's basically like, it don't matter what happens, but he wants it to get the win. So Blake Olson, I have a feeling he knows how aggressive Austin is, and he's going to really try to apply the pressure. And here comes Austin. Now we saw him go hard into the wall yesterday. Not the case right now. Big angle from him. Looks like he kind of grips up as he shoots out and into that outside zone 3 and into 4. Oh, Mata overshoots it as Blake. That kind of allowed him to catch up. So Austin shooting outside that right behind me. And all of a sudden I just feel really old. All right, here we go. Nate Chen will lead. Blake Olson giving chase. Coming across the nose of that BMW. Ooh, Blake doing some landscaping. No need for that. Please stay off the freaking grass. As Nate Chen comes into outside zone 3. Blake Olson playing catch up. Brown cloud. Yes, sir. And Nate Chen comes in, hits it, and quits it. Talking about that last outside zone. Quite a bit of separation there. Blake Olson out front. This is kind of a situation of the Rich Dimitri situation where Rich knows he's kind of at a deficit in that previous one. Blake needs to put down a solid run. He's got the clean air, filling all that outside zone 1. Let's go to outside zone 2. Blake Olson, almost similar to what Rich Reitman did. He exceeded the line, throws off Nate Chen a little bit there as gets bound up. You can see him kind of grab the wheel. Looks like he hit a beehive, swinging his hands, and Blake Olson rock solid there. But is that, look at that, already pulled up to the line. Our next pair will revisit TLO and Hobson Rahimi, but this Blake Olson and pretty Ricky Hoffman. All right, Blake Olson initiating, coming to us from Las Vegas. Good initiation there by Blake. Big angle there. Nice, very fluid line from Blake Olson. Ricky Hoffman back a few lengths. Quite a few lengths now coming into that second inside clip. Can Blake tighten it up? And yes, he does. Well done there from Blake Olson. Ricky Hoffman, some shimming in that chase position. Blake digging deep. Look at that. Really well done, probably the best run back, and it's paid off for him. He's in contention for what could be his 3rd championship, but right now it's all about Ricky Hoffman and Blake Olson. Ricky Hoffman, let's see how he handles it, goes and initiates. He had some struggles, but 95 miles per hour, no struggle here. You can see that wire care S chassis. Let's see if Blake Olson can hold it together. He's up in the smoke. Now goes from that second outside zone to inside clip 2. Big angle there from Ricky. A lot more dialed. But Blake, can he handle it? Not seeing the smoke. Does he get blinded? Ricky Hoffman delivers. Ricky Hoffman does show up, but I'll tell you what, Blake Olson coming to us from Las Vegas. Canada versus Vegas. BMW versus S chassis. All right, so coming down the pipe through that start chicane. Here comes TLO and that M-Spec vehicle. Now past that first inside clip, let's see how they handle that first outside zone into the second. Blake needs to gain some ground here at TLO. Good angle from TLO. Blake goes past it. He needs to catch him here. Got not a race, but Blake overcooks it. And a lot of gravel, a lot of dust. And just coming on in, here comes Blake.
And TLO. Let's see what Blake's got here. Initiates. Big, nasty initiation from Blake Olson. TMVC, CoroWorks, BMW out front into that second outside zone. Let's see what we got here from Blake. Oh, a wide swing, but allows TLO to gain some ground. Blake dives back in. Olson approaching that last outside zone and puts it right in the right spot. Really well done by Blake Olson, but TLO keeping his composure. Here we go. The first portion of this battle, Blake Olson qualifying 13th, Hansen qualifying 12th. So Hansen will lead from Pocatello, Idaho. Let's see how on pace these guys are. 94 miles per hour on initiation. Blake Olson trying to maintain that proximity. Now Blake Olson comes out of the smoke. Rudy Hansen, big angle from Hansen. Blake Olson really tight, look at that. Rudy Hansen, a wide swing on that second inside clip. And Blake massaging in Hansen into that final outside zone. And here we go. Rudy Hansen, slow little crawl before Blake leaves the line, and looks like we are clear to send. Let's go for it, boys. Here we go, Blake Olson initiating, using all of the course, getting all the way out to that rumble strip. Big angle from Blake Olson. Rudy Hansen, you can see his line, gets lost in the smoke. Major mistake there by Hansen. Now coming to that second inside clip goes Blake right on it, filling all that box. Now he's got one more outer zone for glory, and Blake Olson, after a very interesting turn of events and an overturn of a call, Blake Olson again unofficially again on that start line. Here we go. Robert Thorne will lead all BMW battle. Remember, the FCP Euro Cup up for grabs. As here we go into that first inside clip, into that first outside zone. Big angle there from Thorne. He's got to be feeling a lot of confidence right now. Into that second outside clip, we can see Elton, the Rocket Man, on the hood, or the roof, excuse me, of the TNVC BMW. And Blake Olson guaranteed a podium at this point. He's the highest qualifying driver of the Final Four, but here we go. You want to get that win, right? Here we go. Blake Olson out front. Robert Thorne, big angle there from Blake Olson, TNVC, CoroWorks, BMW. Oh, looks like might have contact there. So, yes. Yeah, contact was made going to that first outside zone. I saw that trunk lift up by pressure from Thorne. And it looks like, I'll tell you what, our champion, you know, you walked us through, you know, with Robert is guaranteeing the total prize payout of $4,000 for the ProSpec Championship. So congratulations. Here we go. The finals are here. Who's winning at the inaugural debut Formula Drift here at the Utah Motorsports Campus? 96 miles per hour. The sun is set, but these guys are rising to the occasion. Here we go. Blake Olson, TMVC, CoroWorks, BMW, Derek Madison, feeling the flow. Oh, and a big correction there. That's where some steering could be coming into play. Now keep in mind, oh, he straightens out once again. He might be having bigger issues right now. And Blake Olson powers through. And that was an independent mistake. Great looking car, good dude. And obviously Derek Madison got second in St. Louis. He finished strong, but didn't take it all the way to the top. Let's see how Derek Madison goes. Now he's got that clean air, big angle. It's also, ooh, it comes out of it, comes a little unwound, but again, with that big correction there, Blake Olson could be playing this a little smart, or a lot smart in this case. All right, coming to that last and final outside zone. Derek Madison goes in, Blake Olson doesn't get all the way out there.